Stay there. All right, let's get the meeting started, folks.
Yep. Hang on one sec. I'll just let you know when it goes. I just clicked it on.
Ray, can you hear me? It's Isaac. I tried to unmute myself, but I'm just not sure if it works.
Yes, we can hear you fine, Isaac. Thanks.
Okay, we are live.
Okay, Lauren, take it away.
This is a meeting of the Township Committee for Lakewood Township. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public and the press and was posted in the municipal building in accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, and it was published in the Asbury Park Press on January 7th, 2021. Today is April 8th, 2021. This meeting, the public are welcome to participate using the Cisco WebEx by either phone or computer. The meeting ID is 132-152-3184. If choosing to call in, the phone number is 408-418-9388. All participants will be muted upon entry, but they may participate by using the *3 key if participating by phone, or to raise your hand by using the appropriate WebEx video button to be recognized via computer. This meeting is viewable and recorded on Town Hall Streams at https://townhallstreams.com.
Thanks, Lauren. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Coles?
Here.
Deputy Mayor Miller?
Here.
Committeeman Lichtenstein? I think it was a yes.
Yes, it was. There's a here.
Committeeman Ackerman?
Here.
Committeeman D'Elia?
Here.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Also present is Township Attorney Stephen Seacare, Township Attorney Harold Hensel, and Business Administrator Patrick Donnelly.
Thanks, Lauren. Jason, can we run the salute to the flag, please? Everybody please rise for a salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Thanks, Jason. Lauren, do you have a brief prayer?
Yes, I do. Heavenly Father, we pause to give you thanks for thy many blessings. We ask thy blessings upon this Township Committee and all those in authority so that they may serve the people. We also ask for thy blessings upon all those who are suffering from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. All this we ask in thy name. Amen.
Thanks, Lauren. Just want to take a moment to thank Mayor Lichtenstein. Initially, he wasn't going to be able to make the meeting tonight due to a family wedding. He's changed his schedule around. I know he's good for us for about 45 minutes. So, Mayor, thanks very much for changing that personal arrangement around. Can I have approval of the minutes for March 18th, 2021?
So made, Menasha.
Moved by Minash,
Second, Mike.
second by Mike. Any discussion? All in favor?
Yeah.
Aye.
Any
I'm
opposed?
abstaining.
All right.
No, but I abstain, Ray.
Right. Isaac abstains. He missed the meeting on the 18th.
Yep.
All right. Tonight we have the introduction of our 2021 municipal budget. Just going to read a very brief statement. Lakewood Township's 2021 proposed budget for introduction totals $108,977,090.36. The 2020 budget as adopted totaled $108,764,946.03. The increase over 2020 is $212,144.33. The amount to be raised by taxation in 2021 budget is $72,194,989.46, as opposed to the amount raised by taxation in the 2020 budget of $71,150,104.81. This represents an increase in taxes raised for 2021 of $1,044,884.65. The tax rate will round to 0.691 cents for 2021, which is the same tax rate as 2020, which means there will be no municipal tax increase for this year's budget. Our rateable base in 2021 is $10,453,611,500. Rateable base in 2020 was $10,302,258,900. There are more property values to absorb an increase in the amount to be raised, which is what kept the tax rate flat. This budget provides all projected necessary services of the township and does not have any layoffs. It should be noted that while many municipalities in the state of New Jersey needed to implement layoffs or institute furloughs due to COVID-19 pandemic, Lakewood Township did not need to. Strong fiscal and budget management by the Township Committee and Township Manager are the reasons the 2020 budget held up well in the face of the pandemic, and the 2021 budget follows suit. I want to take a moment to thank our manager, Pat Donnelly, all of our professionals, our CFO, Bill Riker, our accountants, our auditors. I know it was a difficult budget. I know that once our department had submitted their budgets, Pat and Bill asked them to cut a significant amount so that we could keep the tax rate level this year and not add any unnecessary pain to any of our residents in the face of what was probably the worst year most of us have ever faced. So with that being said, I'd like a motion for Resolution 2021-0141 for the 2021 budget.
So made, Mayor.
Moved by Mayor,
Second by Mike.
second by Mike. Is there any discussion? Can I have a roll call, please?
Committeeman Ackerman,
Yes.
Committeeman Delia,
Yes.
Committeeman Delia,
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries to introduce the 2021 budget, Resolution 2021-141. A public hearing will be held on May 6, 2021.
Thanks, Lauren. All right, is there anything that anybody would like removed from the consent agenda?
Yes, Mayor.
Go ahead.
It's, I don't need it removed, but I'm not voting on E1, the first one, which is Resolution 0142.
Got it. Anything else? Anybody else
Not
want
for
to be removed or abstain? If not, can I have a motion and a second?
Motion Menasha.
Moved by Minash,
Second, Mike.
second by Mike. Any discussion? Can I have a roll call, please?
Committeeman Ackerman.
Yeah.
Committeeman Delia,
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein,
Yes, with noted abstention.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt the consent agenda with abstention noted.
Okay. Ordinances for first reading? I received quite a few emails today from the neighborhood over here, speaking out against the four-way stop signs there. We had received a petition which indicated that the neighborhood wanted these stop signs, but it became very obvious today that there's a significant number of folks who live in the area who do not. So I'm going to ask the Township Committee, when we read this, to let it die for lack of a motion. We are already working with the police department to put up the speed boards out there, and we will work with traffic and safety as well as some of the folks from the neighborhood, try and come up with some alternate means to do some traffic calming and increase safety for the pedestrians out there. So Lauren, go ahead.
Ordinance 2021-25, an ordinance of the Committee, Township of Lakewood, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 11 entitled Traffic of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Lakewood, specifically Section 11-21.1 entitled Four-Way Stops, and this was for Powderhorn, Flintlock, Heath, and Liberty.
Is there a motion? Seeing no motion, the ordinance dies for lack of a motion. So that's off. Number two.
Ordinance number 2 is 2021-26, is an ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, and amending and supplementing Chapter 11 entitled Traffic of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Lakewood, specifically Section 11-21.2 entitled Three-Way Stops, and this is for Clover Street and the School Garden Street.
Can I have a motion and a second, please?
I'll motion, Mayor.
Moved by Mayor,
Second by Isaac.
second by Isaac. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman,
Yes.
Committeeman Delia,
Yes.
Committeeman Lichtenstein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Motion carries with a public hearing on April 22nd, 2021. Our next ordinance is 2021-27, an ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, releasing, extinguishing, and vacating the rights of a portion of Paper Street known as Brush Avenue and the entirety of Summit Avenue in the Township of Lakewood.
Can I have a motion and a second?
I'll motion, Mayor.
Moved by Mayor,
Second, Menasha.
second by Minash. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman,
Yes.
Committeeman Delia,
yes,
Committeeman Lichtenstein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Motion carries with a public hearing to be held on May 6, 2021. Our next ordinance is ordinance 2021-28, an ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, releasing, extinguishing, and vacating the rights of a public portion of the paper street known as Drexel Avenue in the Township of Lakewood.
Can I have a motion and a second?
I'll motion, Mayor.
Moved by Mayor,
second, Mike,
second by Mike. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman,
Yes.
Committeeman Delia,
yes,
Committeeman Lichtenstein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
A motion carries to introduce ordinance 2021-28 with a public hearing on May 6, 2021. Our next ordinance is 2021-29, an ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 11 entitled Traffic of the Revised General Ordinances of the Township of Lakewood, specifically Section 11-10, stopping or standing, and this is regarding Coventry Square.
All right. Can I have a motion and a second, please?
move it, Mike,
Mayor.
Moved by Mike,
Second by Isaac.
second by Isaac. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman,
Yes.
Committeeman Delia,
yes,
Committeeman Lichtenstein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Motion carries to introduce ordinance 2021-29 with a public hearing to be held on April 22nd.
Okay. Ordinances for second reading?
For second reading, we have ordinance 2021-22, an ordinance of the Township of Lakewood, County of Ocean, amending and supplementing an ordinance entitled Ordinances of the Township of Lakewood, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, adopting and updating a township personnel policies and procedures manual and creating the Department of Human Resources.
Right. I'll open the meeting to the public on this ordinance only. Is there anybody online who wants to speak on this ordinance? Seeing nobody there, bear with me. There is nobody who's commenting on this on the email chain, so I will close the public hearing. Can I have a motion and a second?
Moved by Isaac.
Moved by Isaac,
I'll second, Mayor.
second by Mayor. Any discussion?
yeah, I have a question, to the attorney, is this something I can vote on, or should I abstain?
No, you can vote on it, Mike. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
All right, roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman,
Yes.
Committeeman Delia,
yes,
Committeeman Lichtenstein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt ordinance 2021-22.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve the bill list of April 7th?
So made,
So made.
Isaac.
I made, Mayor.
All right, moved by Isaac, second by Mayor. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Committeeman Ackerman,
Yes.
Committeeman Delia,
yes,
Committeeman Lichtenstein,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Miller,
Yes.
Mayor Coles.
Yes.
Motion carries to adopt the bills list of April 7th.
Okay, we'll move on to public comment. I see we have some folks online with us. Mr. Grimes, I know you were there first. Would you like to join the meeting and let us know what's on your mind? Mr. Grimes, are you still there?
I don't see him up there.
He's not videoed, but,
Yeah, he's there.
all right, well, let's see.
Sorry about that.
There you
There he
go.
is.
No problem. Just do me a favor, give me your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Edward Lefty Grimes. I'm with sativacross.org. We're a 501c3 here in New Jersey. I'm from East Hanover, New Jersey. I have family in Lakewood. I want to talk about your ordinance for cannabis that you're proposing. I know there's not a public hearing on this tonight, but I appreciate you having a public hearing on this. Our organization advocates for people in wheelchairs and cannabis patients. We're not here to advocate for recreational. We want to help the people that are sick and dying, the people that really need it. There's a lot of people with cancer, a lot of people in wheelchairs that can't get their medicine. It's very hard if you're in a wheelchair to get your medicine. And a lot of people say, oh, you're going to have delivery soon. We've been waiting for delivery for a long time. And it's an extra charge that patients are going to have to incur. We already have our medicine taxed. Insurance doesn't cover our medical cannabis. We're getting hit from all sides. The cannabis that we're buying, we're getting moldy cannabis at an overpriced charge. The people in wheelchairs are, when they get to the front of that line to get their medical cannabis, usually out of what they need. The strains that they need are not there. The amounts that they need are not available. I'm a Christian, but we do share a couple of books with the Jewish faith, and one of them is Ezekiel. And Ezekiel 47, it says, all sorts of trees for food will grow on both banks of the stream. Their leaves will not wither, nor will their fruitage fail. Each month they will bear new fruit, because the water from them flows from the sanctuary. Their fruitage will serve as food, and their leaves for healing. Leaves for healing is very important to me because I use cannabis. I was on man-made medicine for years. They had me on OxyContin, all these man-made poisons and chemicals. I was on because I have a artificial disc, I have a fusion, a 2-level cervical. Cannabis, it's God's medicine. You sell artificial cannabis in the pharmacies. It's synthetic marijuana. It's called Marinol or Dronabinol. This is synthetic cannabis, synthetic marijuana. That God did not put that here. These are man-made chemicals. God put this medicine here for us for a reason. It helps many people. It helps me. I'm an advocate for it. I've seen it help many people. It was a miracle for me because I had this 2-level cervical a couple of years ago. And my lower back surgeries were many years ago. And I got off the opiates after my lower back surgeries. It was very hard getting off those opiates. I wasn't abusing it, but even just being on it for my pain, it took me 10 months to get off of them. 4 times. I failed 3 times. The 4th time I finally did it. I was able to get off those opiates. It's tough. It's not easy. And I try to help other people get off opiates because I don't believe cannabis is a gateway drug. I believe it's an exit drug for opiates. And a lot of my friends will tell you that. A lot of my patient friends. I would ask that you consider what it's like to live in a wheelchair when you make these decisions. Maybe spend a day in a wheelchair. I've told every council this. Spend a day in a wheelchair and see what it's like to live in a wheelchair and how far you'd have to push yourself to get your medicine if you're sick, because you have to incur charges if you take an Uber. It's not easy for disabled people to get around. First of all, we don't have much money. And it's just a compassionate thing to do. There's a lot of people, a lot of wheelchair access not available in many towns. There's a 2% tax you can charge. I don't like the tax. I know some towns are doing it. It's a 2% wheelchair tax, I call it. It's a 2% tax on cancer. But if you're going to give us that 2% tax, give us representation for that taxation and give us wheelchair access throughout every town that taxes our medicine. That's all we ask. If you're going to tax our medicine, give us representation for that. That's what we deserve as patients. And I think we can all discuss this more. I'm glad you're going to have a public forum about this because we need to talk about this. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not worry them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mr. Grimes, and we'll talk over the next week or two. Is there anybody else who'd like to be heard tonight?
Mr. Hugh Giordano requested to speak.
Hugh, come on down.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. My name is Hugh Giordano, and I am a union representative for the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, UFCW, Local 152. I'm here today to speak in public comment in regards to the cannabis conversation that is happening within Lakewood. The UFCW is a labor union of approximately 1.4 million hardworking families across the U.S. and Canada. And one of the groups that we represent are cannabis workers, both medical and adult use, from seed to sale. And we're their official labor union under the guise of the AFL-CIO. I wanted to just give you a heads up because I know there's a lot of conversation going on in regards to cannabis and how to do it. Lakewood is in a special position to do some really good with it for working people for the industry. 50% of Lakewood's residency is of working age, and the other 40% are young people that are going to be adults and be of working age. So that means that there's a large population that can get into this industry and have a career. The one thing that's interesting too is that the median income within Lakewood is 41,000, with males making around 39,000 and females making 32,000, with 26% of the folks in the population on the poverty line. So this means that Lakewood is dying for good careers and jobs within the area. The jobs in New Jersey, the cannabis jobs, both medical and adult use, will be union jobs, which means they'll have good health care, wages, sick time, vacation time, dental, vision, and retirement. So these will attract young professionals too. The cannabis jobs that the folks who represent from seed to sale, these are folks that have degrees in horticulture, botany, chemistry, other forms of business and science degrees. So that they'll attract young families and young workers who will stimulate your economy. The other thing too is that the build out. So I know that Lakewood is an urban enterprise zone, and that's because it needs, the state has says that it needs economic stimulation, and this is the way to do it. The great thing about it is the building trades are going to be involved too. So the build out of any of your industrial parks, the retrofitting, all these jobs will be built by using union labor as well. So electricians, carpenters, steam fitters. This will create good jobs, and the folks in Lakewood will be the first ones to get those jobs. These jobs pay a living wage, and these folks that are working there will spend their money in Lakewood. And I would ask that you do consider this. Bayonne actually did a great job. Bayonne passed an ordinance about 2 weeks ago, which lays out how and who can apply in their city. And it lays out the structure for how you're going to charge them for a permit fee. And it also lays out a structure of looking at it from the applications side. What are their labor standards? Do they have a collective bargaining agreement in another state? Do they have good employment standards in other states? Environmental standards, community standards. Are they going to be a part of the community and donate to senior citizens, to disabled, and other communities within Lakewood? So not only the tax revenue and the job, but these companies, union facilities, will be willing to also invest directly into the community for their profits. So I would just suggest that you check out the City of Bayonne ordinance that was passed 2 weeks ago. And I would also suggest I offer you and the entire administration within Lakewood an official tour of the first unionized dispensary in New Jersey, of the original 6 medical that was signed under the John Corzine administration. So it's the original one that organized the Garden State Dispensary in Woodbridge. So if you would like to see a tour from seed to sale, so you could see the professionalism and also the security as well, so that you can decide what type of facility do you really want in Lakewood, so that you're not just going to hear one side or the other. You can see for yourself. And I'd like to offer that to you as well. All right. So once again, from the UFCW, look forward to talking. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much. Stay safe. Anybody else like to be heard tonight? I see 2 folks that I don't recognize.
Yes, please.
Can you give me your name and address for the record, please?
My name is Adam Umansky, and I live in Chestnut Ridge, New York at the moment, over the border. I'd like to speak about the proposed cannabis-related ordinance. I know that Lakewood is a very religious area, and although I grew up Jewish, I am not a practicing Jew, and I use cannabis for my religious purposes, as part of my religious beliefs and practices. We've had some archaeological research recently, which confirms what a lot of people have known, that cannabis is an ingredient in the holy anointing oil of Moses from Exodus. And I am involved with a congregation, and we make the holy anointing oil for use for religious purposes. And I just wanted to get this council's opinion on whether or not I would be able to use cannabis for my religious purposes within the boundaries of your municipality, and also whether or not I would be able to operate a house of worship that utilizes cannabis as a holy sacrament. And I'll mute myself and listen to your answer. Thank you.
Mayor, I'd suggest that you not answer that question. It calls for legal conclusions, and it would be inappropriate for the committee to comment on that.
All right. I always listen to my attorney. Sorry, Mr. Yamansky.
I understand. Thank you.
Anybody else like to be heard? So, Mr. Van Scriver, I see you on the,
Yes, good evening.
can I have your name and address for the record, please?
Amy Van Skyver, Greenwich Avenue, Paulsboro, New Jersey.
Good evening.
Good evening, council, mayor. I hope everyone is well. It's a beautiful day, and I hope everyone was able to enjoy it some. I'm with Sativa Cross. We're a nonprofit fighting for medical cannabis patients' rights. I'm also a medical cannabis patient in the state of New Jersey. And I would like to please ask you to recognize the medical needs of people in your community that have chronic illness and chronic pain. And when I say chronic, I mean to say that as if it's not going away. We can only imagine that these things are gonna get worse. I personally do not want to put chemicals in my body to fake out my system that I'm not in pain. I very much would prefer to put something into my body that God has put in my body called the endocannabinoid system. It's an anatomical fact. It's realistically there just as much as your cardiovascular system, nervous system, respiratory system. God has also put a plan on this earth, and I would like to use that as my medicine. I would like to nourish my body. I was on pharmaceuticals for chronic illness for a long time. They were not serving me well. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar even with SSRIs and antidepressants. They increase desires of suicide. We have veterans that are suffering from physical ailments and PTSD, and veterans are killing themselves at a rate of 25 per day. And I feel like we're really failing them, and we need to do better. We need to give them access to something natural that God placed in our body and that God placed on this earth. If I wanted to take pharmaceuticals, it would be a very easy road. I wouldn't be stigmatized. I would get it for free, and it would be delivered to my door. Choosing cannabis and natural medicine and God's medicine, it's been very expensive. I've been stigmatized. I've been ridiculed. But one thing that can change is my lab work, and that does not lie. And this is the healing plan. It's meant to work with our body. People have chronic illness and chronic pain. It's not going away. And they take these pharmaceuticals to relieve themselves, and it's just masking it. It's not healing anything. And these people develop tolerances to these medications, and in turn, their body wants more. And this is how we become the substance reliance and tolerance and people looking to other substances. Fentanyl is sold in pharmacies. It's sold as lollipops, as patches, as oral spray, as lozenges, IV. This is a natural medication, and I would hope that people in your community would have access to it and not be denied of it. People are dealing with chronic ailments. I would hope that you understand that opiates and narcotics only lead to tolerances and more milligrams and ravaging the body. We can't do this to people. This is a natural way. It's meant to work with the body. This is God's medicine. This system is inside of my perfect machine body. This plant is on the earth. We're not making anything in any dangerous laboratory. This is all natural. It's sunshine and rain and soil. Everything about it is God. I don't understand the resistance. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Stay safe now. Is there anybody else online who'd like to be heard tonight?
Yes, I have a follow-up question, please.
I'm sorry, we don't do follow-up questions. You'll have to wait for the public hearing. It's one bite at the apple at the meetings. Okay, I'm going to go over to the email. All right, I have, Steve, you have to give me a legal opinion on this one.
Go ahead.
About a half a dozen emails that came in about the four-way stop sign ordinance that we killed. One in favor, one not. Can I paraphrase these or should I just read them out? They're relatively brief.
Well, you can paraphrase, but especially since the ordinance was dead.
Okay, first one is just, I've lived here for 20 years and I feel it's not safe to put up stop signs. The second one is, I would like the stop signs on Powderhorn. I've been a resident for 14 years. There are no traffic flow problems on Powderhorn or Flintlock. I contend that the four-way stop signs would aggravate traffic flow. Another one says that I live in New England Village. I think the stop signs would be a tremendous help. Four-way stop signs there are not necessary, will decrease safety in the neighborhood. I am very interested in the four-way stop sign. So I have a mixture here of people who are dead set against it and in favor of it. What I said earlier is that we're killing the ordinance now. We're already working with the police department in traffic and safety to look at different ways that we can make the area safer. Somebody has suggested that maybe one or two of the streets need a four-way stop sign, not all of them. So these are things that we'll work with the neighborhood together in the next few weeks and see what we can come up with. And hopefully come up with a satisfactory way that keeps the traffic flowing, but makes people feel a little bit safer. So with that, there are no more emails coming in. I'll ask any comments from committee members.
Mayor, I would just like to follow up with what the comments you made on the taxes. I really want to thank all our department heads and our CFO and our business manager. I think that's a great job.
Thanks, Mike. I agree with you. I think they all did a fantastic job this year for us. Anybody else? Silence is consent. I'll say that nobody else has anything to say. Again, tonight, I want to thank everybody for coming on. We heard everybody who spoke. We will definitely take your comments to heart. And again, I want to thank you all for coming on tonight. Everybody who sent emails during the day about the other issues, thank you. Do we have any need for a closed session tonight?
I don't have anything, sir.
No, sir.
In that case, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Moved by Mike.
Moved by Mike.
Second Menashe.
Second Menashe. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Good night, everybody.
Everybody.
See you all soon.
Come here, man, Jim.